Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Asia House. My name is Sumi Ghosh, and I'm the Director of Cultural Programs here at Asia House and also the Director of the Pan-Asia Film Festival. And this is the first event of our third festival, which opens tomorrow night with the film premiere of the film Norwegian Wood. Now, for those of you who don't know Asia House, we're a Pan-Asian organisation. We run business and arts programs here, and the programs we run have two highlights. One is our Festival of Asian Literature in May, and the other one is the Pan-Asia Film Festival in March. And our mission really is to build stronger and more dynamic links through business and culture with countries right across Asia, from the Persian Gulf in the west right through to Japan in the Far East. The film festival, which opens tomorrow, has a range of films from different countries, from Iran and Central Asia right the way through to China and indeed Japan. And we've got a thrilling program this year. Do have a look at it. We thought, though, it would be a nice idea as we're opening our festival with the film Norwegian Wood. We thought it would be nice to have a sort of pre-festival discussion, which is what we're actually doing tonight. So I'm thrilled to welcome here to Asia House Tran Anh Hung, the director of Norwegian Wood, who's at the far end there, and Rinko Kikuchi, who's one of the stars of this magnificent film. And we've also got Yves Gaboreau from Soda Pictures in the middle there, who's going to be kind of chairing our discussion. And also Shiori Okazaki, who's very kindly, quite short notice actually, we've asked her to assist us with some translation here. The film is at BAFTA tomorrow for the opening night of our festival. I think we're sold out, but if you ask nicely, we might be able to get you a ticket. But it also opens nationwide on the 11th of March. I'm not going to say any more than that other than to ask you to join me in welcoming our guests this evening.
My name is Yves Gaboreau, and I'm the distributor of Norwegian Wood in the UK. And I'm also a long-standing great fan of Murakami's work and of Tran Anh Hung's films. Thank you for coming tonight to this talk about adapting and interpreting the mind of Haruki Murakami onto the big screen. Murakami is arguably Japan's most famous contemporary writers, having published 12 novels, dozens of short stories, an impressive number of essays and commentaries on subjects varying from jazz to earthquakes to cult gas attacks to running to birthdays. Already what we read of his work is an adaptation from the original. So unless we read his work in Japanese, we're already one level removed from the source. That said, Murakami is fluent in English, and indeed he translates and therefore somewhat interprets the likes of Fitzgerald, Salinger, Capote, Carver, Chandler, and more contemporary Irving and Pull-Through into Japanese. And so he oversees the English translations of his own works. The English version then acts as a kind of comparable for translation into other languages. So there's both a Japanese original and an English translation that translators use around the world as they translate them. So in terms of the theme tonight of adapting, I thought it was an interesting parallel to give, that there are different ways that the book itself that we read is interpreted. His books are the subject of much discussion on what they're really about. What do the cats mean? Why cook spaghetti? What's down the well? Where are these parallel universes? Why does suicide frequently creep up? Why is there so much lost love? When you, or at least when I read a Murakami story, I always think, God, I would love to see that made into a film. And then at the same time, I think, God, that could never be made into a film. So over time, really, there haven't been films made of his books. There have been 2 short films based on 2 short stories, and 2 lesser-known features. One of his first novel, Hear the Wind Sing in the early 80s, and Tony Takatani, which was made in 2005 and did have a limited release in the UK. But now, there is Norwegian Wood. This is the first major adaptation of a Murakami novel, and many filmmakers have tried before, but Tran Anh Hung is the first to have succeeded. No surprise, with an Oscar nomination for his The Scent of Green Papaya and a Venice Golden Lion Award for his film Ciclo, to his credit, and also his wonderful sensibility and style that clearly resonated with Murakami. His filmography and his screenplay is where this film all started. But as a Franco-Vietnamese filmmaker armed with a script written in French and a plan to make it in Japanese, it wasn't such an obvious beginning.